The Trump administration is digging in for what could be a long legal fight over plans to reduce the size, scale, and cost of the federal government. At least 8 lawsuits have already been filed just on behalf of independent inspectors general who were removed from office after President Trump returned to the White House. Now the administration is asking the Supreme Court to step in and allow the president to fire the head of an independent federal agency tasked with protecting whistleblowers. More federal workers are expected to be fired in the days ahead. Thousands of new hires have been targeted across at least 20 agencies, including the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Department of Education. Many are probationary employees, so mostly new hires who are still in their trial period. The latest mass firings are part of DOJ's continued efforts to cut government costs. Let's bring in CBS News White House reporter Willie James Inman, who is with us from West Palm Beach, Florida. Willie, what is the Office of the Special Counsel, and why does the president want the head of it to be removed?
Hey there, Lindsay. Good to be with you. It's a great question because this is different than, say, the Special Counsel's office where Jack Smith was appointed. Of course, Jack Smith investigated the president on his retention of classified documents and election interference, or alleged election interference. This office essentially protects whistleblowers, those government employees that want to transmit information to the Office of the Special Counsel to look into wrongdoing in the government. And I also want to bring up for our viewers, or just say to our viewers, one of the primary missions, and we got this from the website of the agency, is to safeguard federal employees and applicants from prohibited personnel practices. Of course, it is guarded by a couple of different laws, including the Hatch Act. So this is clearly an office that is very important and key to federal employees being able to report wrongdoing. But the president here really wants to exert his executive authority. We saw that being the case with the firing of multiple inspectors general. The president here looking to do that, and with this case being at the Supreme Court, I'll note that Hampton Dillinger, who in this case is fighting against this, saying that he was fired basically without cause, saying that the White House has to give specific reasons as to why he should be fired and should lose his employment. He said that no problems with his job performance were described in the letter that was sent by the Trump administration to let him go or to fire him from his role. So we'll have to wait and see what happens at the Supreme Court. It's a holiday today. Perhaps it'll be on the official docket tomorrow, and we'll perhaps see a reaction from the Supreme Court then, Lindsay.
Well, I have to be quick with you because we have so much ground to cover with you, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is there sort of a process before a case can go to the Supreme Court, or the president is just saying, let's just have them try and decide? I mean, they can decide not to take up the case and have lower courts rule first, right?
Yeah, they certainly can, and this has already been at the lower court level, and that's what's happening here. It's making its way through the administration, looking to usurp or looking to change the outcome in terms of the lower court ruling, because that lower court essentially ruled, for the most part, in the favor of Dillinger, for him to be able to be back on the job, at least for a short time, until this was decided. So clearly the administration looking to say that, look, we have the executive authority, we have the power to remove this person, this individual, but he himself, Dillinger, fighting this and saying that he was fired basically without cause, Lindsay.
All right, let's talk about some more of the cuts that we're hearing about. We're hearing about the firing of hundreds of FAA employees, Federal Aviation Administration. Of course, this is weeks after that tragic midair collision between a military helicopter and passenger jet near D.C. Today, we know that DOJ will be visiting the agency's command center. What is the president's plan for the FAA?
Yeah, we know that DOJ is expected to talk with some of the employees at the FAA, most notably perhaps some air traffic controllers, to have a look at the type of equipment that they're using, what they like and what they don't like about the equipment. Now, people who are experts in this field of aviation will tell you that the FAA, the people who really just control and make sure that our skies are safe, are using some antiquated equipment, and that it is just years behind what is needed to upgrade that system. So that perhaps is in the works here with Doge coming in, with Elon Musk, a billionaire, also a tech entrepreneur, being able to get in there and see what's going on there. We, of course, know that those cost-cutting measures have hit the FAA, as several other agencies have been affected as well. For the most part, we aren't hearing that air traffic controllers have been let go. We've heard the reports that there are some people behind the scenes that don't necessarily control the safety of the skies being let go. But still, nonetheless, it really does rattle many people across the country when you hear about some of these employees being let go. But specifically, when it comes to those air traffic controllers, they are, of course, essential employees. So we've seen that happen from other government agencies as well, whereas you have some hundreds or perhaps thousands affected, some essential employees are able to stay on the job and perhaps are accepted or excluded from that buyout offer, a separate offer from the Trump administration, Lindsay.
Willie James Inman, thank you.